An open letter to our society. Dear Honorable Justices of the Supreme Court. As a society, we have always looked upon our judiciary as a beacon of justice, a light of hope when all else fails. The Supreme Court's recent decision to abolish affirmative action policies has thrown this beacon into sharp contrast against the darkness of institutionalized privilege. Affirmative action policies were instituted not just as measures of recompense for centuries of prejudice and discrimination, but as safeguards to promote equality, offering underrepresented minorities a fighting chance in their quest for quality education. The court's recent decision to abolish such policies, while preserving the legacy admission system, unfortunately tells a different story. It is vital to acknowledge that the United States of America has two distinct forms of affirmative action, one for the privileged and another for the disadvantaged, the Black, Indigenous, people of color, BIPOC, and women. The policy benefiting the privileged is commonly known as legacy admissions, a system that accounts for 47% of all college admissions. This system, protected and upheld by the Supreme Court, has historically perpetuated a cycle of privilege, often at the expense of those who are just as deserving but lack the familial or financial lineage. The decision to abolish affirmative action that benefits disadvantaged populations, while upholding legacy admissions, sends a disheartening message. It seems to say that it is acceptable for privilege to be inherited, and yet not for the scales to be tipped even slightly to correct historic wrongs. Of legacy admissions, it is estimated that 75% are allocated to students who may have taken the place of equally or more qualified BIPOC individuals, women, and non-legacy white students. These statistics reflect an unspoken but real policy of privileged affirmative action that our country continues to nurture. The reality of this decision is that it safeguards a pathway of privilege for a predominantly white upper-class population while obstructing avenues of advancement for those who have been historically marginalized. The Supreme Court's decision to uphold one form of affirmative action while dismantling another reinforces this imbalance, thus perpetuating a cycle of privilege rather than breaking it. We must strive to bridge the chasm between privilege and disadvantage, to build a country that genuinely embodies its own creed, that all are created equal and are deserving of equal opportunities. To do this, we must scrutinize all forms of affirmative action through the lens of fairness, justice, and the overarching principles of equality that form the backbone of our great nation. We implore the court to reconsider this decision in light of these facts and work towards creating a just, equitable, and inclusive society. In the spirit of equality and justice, citizen.